What's up, Carol? What's up, y'all?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 411 podcast with Laren Gaines, featuring special guest Dr. Daisha Andrews. Please follow, like, comment, share, and subscribe on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube at Laren Gaines. Text Laren at 609-738-0611. Thanks. Enjoy the show.
What's up, y'all? What's going on? What's going on? Welcome to the 411 podcast. So I see Neek, what's going on? I couldn't think of your name, but I got it. I saw Carol out there. I don't know if that's May 14. I don't know if I've ever seen you before in here, but welcome to the 411 podcast. Welcome everybody on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, everybody. Thank you so much for coming on, and of course YouTube as well. So y'all ready to do this? Dang, that's messed up, homie. Nah, I mean, but I remembered your name though. That's not right though. See, for a minute it left, but then it came right back. What's up? How you doing?
Song of the Day from the 411 podcast, Now or Never, by Kendrick Lamar, featuring the Queen of Hip Hop Soul, Miss Mary J. Blige, from the Good Kid, Mad City album, released in 2012. Song of the Day.
So there you go. Song of the Day, Kendrick Lamar. It's his birthday today, so happy birthday, Kendrick Lamar. And it is also Barry Manilow's birthday. So I love that song Now or Never by Kendrick Lamar. Of course, it has my girl, the one and only Miss Mary J. Blige. I just love how that just rolls off. So definitely had to do that song, Now or Never, Kendrick Lamar. Song of the day. Happy birthday. So tonight we have Dr. Daisha Andrews coming in. So it's going to be a great show. Spoke to her earlier. She's ready to go. Definitely excited about these burning questions that we got here tonight. And of course, excited because each and every one of y'all are here tuning in. So do me a favor. Go ahead and share. Go and tell a friend. Tell them to come right on into the 411 because it's definitely going to get real hot, in a few minutes. We're getting ready to do this here. So want to give a shout out to a few people who support the 411 podcast. So Miss Lakeisha Moon, what's going on? Thank you so much for all of the love and support. Kizzy's Things, Natasha Hamilton, my girl from Brooklyn, New York, what's going on? Ian West, Meticulous Styles, definitely thank you so much because you are the queen, true veteran out there doing your thing. So thank you for taking some time to come right on to my spot here. Profile Pod TV, Crochet Clothing, and another very special friend, Miss Desiree Covington. Thank you so much. I got your message earlier today. I just didn't have enough time to respond, but I'm saying it now. So thank you. Serene Poems, what's going on? Oh, you out there. I see you out there. And Miss Janie, thank you so much. Again, people on Facebook. I may not be able to comment back with Facebook right now, so drop it in the comments and I definitely see them later. Instagram family, what's going on out there? TikTok, I see a few people out there. If you could just go ahead and share that and get some more people in that room, I would appreciate that. And anyone on Twitter and YouTube as well. So here we go. We're ready to go. We're going to reach out to Daisha Andrews, Dr. Daisha Andrews. What's going on? What's up? What's up? Angelique, what's going on? Ringing a little strange.
It's been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. 7.
Yeah, normally don't ring like that. I'm doing good. How you doing? I'm doing real good. All right, let's try this one more time. So how are you doing is the question. Wow, things are cutting up already tonight.
Hello.
Oh, hey, what's going on?
Hey.
First of all, I called you, right? And it started to ring crazy. Then I hung up and it just dialed itself again. So, and you just picked up and you were right there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, what's going on?
Not that much.
Well, welcome to the 411 pod. I appreciate you for coming on here.
Thank you. I appreciate you for extending the invitation.
Yes. So now, where are you calling from?
From the sunny Miami, Florida, of course, which is rainy right now, though.
Oh, that's what's up, Miami, Florida. Well, I got long sleeves on right now. It was actually 80 some odd degrees here today in Jersey, but it really don't feel like that right now. So
Wow.
I don't know. This temperature and this whole weather situation has been crazy. Up and down, up and down.
Yes. It was 80 something degrees across the whole country today, though, earlier, which was very weird, but unique.
Yeah. So what did you end up doing today? Of course, besides
nothing much, running around in the rain. It's been raining here for a few days, so I'm really just trying to help customers as much as I can while I'm here in Miami, getting everything kind of settled before my big move. So I just kind of been running around getting stuff done to be ready to head out to Atlanta soon.
And that's where you're gonna stay, or are you just taking a little trip there?
Yep, I'll be moving to Atlanta permanently pretty soon.
Okay. Miami, Atlanta. You think you're gonna miss Miami?
I'll miss the beach a little bit for sure.
Yeah.
But other than that, not much. I've been here my whole life. So
okay.
I've had my fair share.
Okay. So let's talk about some exciting things to do in Miami. So someone like me, I think I've been there one time. And it was like for business. So I didn't really have an opportunity to explore, do anything. So what's there for me to do?
Besides the beach is probably the most popular thing. Everyone loves South Beach because there's lots of little shops, little ducked off kind of cafes and things like that where you'll find unique eateries, which is really good. If you like Spanish food, Cuban food, it's such a diverse mix of food here.
Mm-hmm.
Really good. So that beach area from all the way from Hollywood all the way down to South Beach. You really could find a lot of unique type of eateries and things like that. So that's pretty fun if you're a foodie.
I don't
Then
like.
we also go ahead.
I don't like that term when people say foodie. It just sounds weird. I mean, when it first
Just,
came out,
or
I was like, like y'all should
yeah,
stop saying that.
or if you're somebody like me and just like to eat, because I just like to eat and try different things.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really fun to do. Then we also have this pretty cool area in Miami called Wynwood, which is a lot of graffiti art. It used to be it's a very gentrified area right now, but a lot of nice, unique artwork. It's probably about 15 blocks long. A lot of different galleries, nice places, to eat, local kind of businesses. A lot of young, up and coming like business owners are in that area. So it's a really cool area, especially for photo shoots, pictures, things like that. It's really good. A lot of different artists come through and do different showcases. So you can always find something different there. It's also one of the areas like Sound came down and did a really nice painting there in that area, which is pretty popular. So that's another really cool area that a lot of people like to visit. But there's so much here to do. It really just depends on what you're into. There's theater. There's, the nightlife is crazy. So you can always find nightlife. But it's a lot to do here. Okay. It's a lot to do.
All right. We'll see what's going on in Miami. What's going on doing the most media has just joined. So last night I had asked this burning question, which was good man or woman versus bad man or woman. Why does majority of society always pick and crave for the wrong ones? So Lakeisha Moon says, I am intrigued with finding balance through the challenge, which, okay. I hear you, but I'm not quite sure I really want that challenge. Serene Poem says, I can't speak for everyone, but sometimes it's because a bad guy bravado makes a woman feel safe, but it's not true, as any valiant man will protect his woman if ever in danger. And then my girl, Shaya Heaven, says, good versus bad, man or woman. Essentially, opposites attract, and so a bad boy may seem quite exciting and attractive to a good girl. It can take many years to work out what type of person is he going to be, both exciting and healthy in a relationship. So, what do you think?
Honestly, I think it's a lot of different things, but I think a woman's ego play a lot into that too. I think a lot of times women think they can change men. And so sometimes they see bad boys as projects that they can fix up and change. And
what do you think? What do you think about that? What's going on, cousin? I see you out there. Sorry about that.
I think 9 out of the 10 times it does not happen. Like, people are who they are. And if that's who a person is at their core, then there's nothing any woman can do to change that. But sometimes change just happens over time. If that person is just, they may be just going through a bad boy phase, and a lot of men do go through that. And then they become who they really are going to be later on. And sometimes a woman is willing to kind of stick through that bad boy phase. But I found that a lot of relationships end when the man do change. If he does change from this bad boy persona to a good guy, as people would call it, I think that sometimes women find that boring and the relationship most times ends.
Here's how I feel relationships change. Because when you first meet somebody in the beginning, everybody wants to put on show and they want to try to be somebody that they're not. And I'm just, I'm just sort of like speaking from a little bit of experience. So you put on this little front in the beginning, and after a while, somebody gets so tired of keeping up with it because in reality,
Mhm.
that's not really you. So then you start to really
Yeah.
show the real you. And then now there's that back and forth. So that's one aspect of it. Or,
Mhm.
there could be a good, what is it? Bad boy, bad girl who tries to turn good because they want to try to keep or hold down or lock down or, you know, win over somebody that's good, right? But then
Mhm.
that thing that makes them bad, right, keeps calling and keeps knocking at that door and knocking at that
Mm.
door and knocking at that door. And then eventually they give back into temptation because they were never that to begin with. They were never,
Mm.
you know what I'm saying? They put on this show
Yeah.
and they put on this front to try to capture something. But, after a while, the excitement starts to fade away. The
And
excitement,
that change is not coming for them. They're not making that change for themselves. They're doing it for someone else.
right.
And that never really lasts long.
And then after a while, that can become exhausting because why am I doing this? Excitement's
Mhm.
not there anymore. It's not popping off the way it used to be. So why am I doing this? And what was in them from the beginning is always knocking at that door and been calling them for, I don't know, 6 months, a year, years, and they end up giving into temptation and it is what it is. So, all right. So let everyone know, you know, who you are, your handle names, if you have any,
Mhm.
websites, or you on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
Yeah. I am on most social media platforms. I am on Instagram as Dr. Andrews, and that's Dashia Andrews with an S. I am on Facebook, same thing, Dacia Andrews. Most places of social media, you can find me as Dacia Andrews. Even my website is DaciaAndrews.com. I make it very easy for people to be able to name. You can find
That's what's up. So, how did you become a doctor? What's that all about?
Well, I have, and most people, like when they see that doctor, they automatically start asking me like medical questions, and I'd be like, hold up. If you really want to be sick, ask me some questions because I'm not the medical doctor. But I have 2 PhDs in educational leadership. So I was a teacher for many years, for about 10 years. I was a principal for about 6.5 years. And so all of my degrees are in the education realm. So
Mm-hmm.
my PhDs are in leadership, and with a heavy focus on the special education population and nonprofit organizations.
Okay.
So that's how I'm a doctor.
So, what's your favorite nonprofit?
Right now, my favorite nonprofit, I have to say, Overtown Youth Center, which is the Alonzo Mourning Foundation. But I spent a lot of years working with them, working for them. And it's just an amazing organization that really is focused on not just youth, but the entire nucleus of the family. And
Mm.
so they do so much work in the community, from feeding the homeless to helping people get jobs and housing. And, the youth in their program usually go into the program in kindergarten, go all the way through high school. And then OIC has a scholarship program. They send 98% of their kids to college on full scholarships. So Alonzo Mourning, Tracy Mourning Foundation, I mean, they do some amazing things. And right now it's based in the Overtown community in Miami, which is a predominantly African-American community, where it was historically a historical African-American community. It housed one of the first Black police stations, one of the first
Okay.
Black courthouses, and now it's been heavily gentrified. And so the foundation has really been like that nucleus in that community to kind of hold people together who are able to stay there, but also keep connected with the people who have to, move out because of the gentrification that's happening. So I would say right now they're really at the top of my list.
Okay. Now, if you had the ability to create your own, charity or foundation, what would be your cause?
Well, I have, and I do. So I have I had an organization, a nonprofit, which was called New Beginnings International. And New Beginnings really was focused on helping youth, underserved youth, just really succeed. So youth from third grade on up, helping them get their basic educational needs to ensure that they're able to progress to the next grade level. And I stepped away from New Beginnings, maybe about 10 years ago, just because I wanted to do, I wanted to kind of spread my wings and do some other things. And I really felt like I needed to go learn and grow more, and kind of really walk in my purpose in a different way. And with that birth, She's on Purpose. And so my organization now is really focused on helping women just kind of understand who they are, whose they are, and to begin to understand what their gifts and their purpose is, and to really begin to walk in that purpose as soon as they possibly can.
That's what's up. Shout out to Najee Beats Bangs. Thank you. I appreciate you. So, you are a cancer survivor. Is that true?
I am currently living with cancer. At least that's what my doctors say.
Okay.
It's not something that I keep at the forefront of my mind anymore, because it could be very consuming. But in 2016, I was diagnosed with stage 3 uterine cancer. I had about 9 golf ball sized tumors on my uterus that just kind of suddenly came. And at the time, doctors advised, of course, that I do chemo, I do radiation, and I do it immediately, because it was not the type of cancer they usually catch in women my age, usually found in African American women predominantly, but much older and much more progressive. And so because of that, they told me that they thought I would have, that my prognosis was really about 12 to 18 months if I didn't do chemo and radiation. And here we are. Actually, I realized the other day it was the anniversary of the day that I was diagnosed. And it's 5 years later. I've never done chemo, never done radiation, and I'm still here.
Exactly. So, congratulations.
Thank you.
Blessings and prayers to you. You do not sound like you are defeated. You are a winner. And I definitely hear all over you, and I see it. Everyone, please check out her Instagram page. You can see just this beautiful person. So let everyone know again where they can follow you at.
Thank you. So on Instagram, you can follow me at Dr. Daisha Andrews, and that's spelled DASHIAANDREWS. On Facebook, you can find me at Daisha Andrews. And on Twitter, I'm pretty certain is Dr. D Andrews on Twitter. But if you search my name, it'll all of my social media handles should follow up, should pop up. And my website is DaishaAndrews.com.
Yes. Wow, you are a powerhouse. You really are. You got a lot of things going on.
Thank you.
You have some more business ventures, don't you?
I do. I am a serial entrepreneur. And so right now I'm a regional director in Total Life Changes, which is a health and wellness company. And we really focus on health and wellness products. People, whether they want to gain weight, lose weight, or just maintain their health. So we tap into so many different industries, from the coffee industry, the skincare industry, essential oils, like so many different things. But one of our main products is a product called NutriBurst, which is a liquid multivitamin. Excuse me.
You still there? I don't know if we lost her or not. Hang on a minute. We can get her back.
Sorry about that.
Oh, you still
This
there?
cough just like
I said, oh, I don't know if we
I'm here.
need to call her back or not.
No, this cough. Have you ever had to cough and sneeze at the same time?
No, but that sounds a little crazy.
It is. I'm like, all of a sudden, it just came. Sorry about that.
No.
But liquid multivitamin, it's 72 vitamins and nutrients, and it's basically everything you need in a vitamin. And that's one of our top products. Sorry. And so I really became a part of this company because I was looking for something natural, you know. And honestly, I can say these products really changed my life. So we tap into the CBD industry. We have CBD detox teas, you know, topical ointments, things like that. But these products, I think, really made the biggest difference in my journey with cancer. And so I had to become, you know, I moved from a customer to a distributor because I love them so much. And I wanted to, you know, give other people the opportunity to be able to experience these products. So that's really one of my main businesses right now. And we're on tour. So we have a bunch of tour dates coming up. This summer, we've been on tour about a month now, going from city to city, just really presenting the opportunity and the products to, you know, to people in various communities around the country.
Well, congratulations on that. What's up, Nene? How are you? Have you ever tried noni juice? Have you heard about the benefits of Tahitian noni juice?
I have. I heard about it. I haven't tried it before, but I have heard about that.
Definitely. I recommend you looking into that. I have had some firsthand experience with it. And really, yeah, please look into it because I definitely think it might help you as well.
I'll definitely look into it.
Everyone, we have the talented, wonderful Dr. Daisha Andrews in the building here. So I have to ask you a question. So, you know, there's a segment of my show called Burning Questions, and it's basically where I start to ask real life situations. So it could be something that I'm going through, something that you're going through, but we basically go back and forth. And everyone out there, if you can jump in and chime in and let me know how you're feeling about these questions that we have going on. So are you ready for Burning Questions?
I am ready.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? It's time for Burning Questions.
So we all have friends that, you know, are in groups, might be group of 3, 4, whatever the case may be. And you all hang out and everything's cool, right? And it's cool until sudden somebody don't like each other. So now you're stuck and your friends are going back and forth and you're like this tug of war thing. So when that type of happens, when you were all close like this, and then now all of a sudden everybody's spread out, do you think that you really can maintain a good relationship, friendship with both parties?
I think you definitely can if you remain neutral. I think that you have to set boundaries with each friend and just make it clear that, like, when you're with them, you don't want to discuss the issues with the other one. You don't want to be put in between. I think if you set those clear boundaries and you enjoy that friend for the friendship that you have and whatever they're going through, try not to get in the middle. Don't take sides. I think you definitely can have a relationship with both parties.
I think it's so hard not to take sides, though, because someone's always going to push the button and try to bring up some mess. Well, you know how people are real petty and they talk slick, and they may not say it, but they'll, you know, in a roundabout way, try to pull you into it.
But my ignore game is so strong.
I would say,
so you can say something and I'll act like I just didn't even hear it and keep moving.
I would say after a while, it really would get on my nerves. Like, you know, When you tell somebody that you don't want to be a part of something and they continue to do it over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So no, when I got a friend out there that does something like that, you're like, yeah, nah, I'm not into that. I don't want to hear this. Please don't talk about this. And they continue to do the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah, then that might be a friend you might have to distance yourself from because they don't respect your boundaries.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Trust me.
that's a different issue.
I distance a lot of people nowadays. Nowadays I do. Before I didn't know how to do that, but now I'm becoming an expert at it. All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
No, I was gonna say I'm really good at like if it doesn't serve me and if it's not uplifting and you know a part of what I want to be a part of, then I don't have a problem with excommunicating myself at all.
I feel that.
And it's no hard feelings. It's just it's not about progression. There's really no point.
Mm-hmm. So now relationships, marriages, whatever. Let's say that you got I call them situationships. Let's say you got a situation that's basically in a toilet. So I'm not sure if you're married or not, or if you're in a relationship, or if you're in a situationship. What are some things that you could do to bring that back?
Wow. This is such an interesting question because I am married.
Okay.
And I went through this long separation from my husband. Not like we was not together separation in terms of we talk about divorce, but he was in one city, I was in another city.
Okay.
And it put a huge strain on the marriage. It's still a bunch of kinks that have to be worked out, but I think that you just have to be kind of honest with yourself and know like what do you really want and what's negotiable and non-negotiable for you. And when you're honest with yourself, like focus on, a lot of times in relationships, we focus on what makes us happy and what the other person needs to do to make us happy. And I'm just a big believer that if you focus on your partner, if you want this relationship and you really focus on things that you know make your partner happy, if they also bring you joy, right? Like me buying things for my husband, that makes me happy. To see him happy makes me happy. So I will do things like that, right? But I understand his love language as well. And so if you focus on just loving the person, I'm a big believer that as long as we both don't fall out of love at the same time, we can make it work. If one of us is at least in love, we can figure this thing out. But if we both fall out of love at the same time, that's a bit more. But I think, you just focus on the other person if you can.
That's good that you said that because, I believe that real successful marriages, relationships, it's all about hanging in there. And there are some times when you're going to be like, I cannot stand you. Right. But then the other person need to be like, but I love you so much. So it's that pull, but like you said, when you both can't stand each other, that is a recipe for disaster. You better go, I don't know what you better do, but yeah, that's a big recipe for disaster. But
yeah, it is. And I don't know that counseling or therapy always helps. I think sometimes counseling and therapy drudges up things from the past and make them fresh.
Yeah, you want to know why? Because they say that, you're supposed to be refreshed and renewed, right? And move on. But when you go to counseling, I guess they start to dig up some stuff that maybe if you just focused on living in the present moment or trying to prepare a little bit for the future and not so much taking it back to the past. But I truly believe though, like if there was never no resolution, Aaliyah had a song called Resolution. So when you go through some things, right, and there is no resolution because nobody really said, yes, I was wrong. I'm not going to do that again. you just keep going through the same shit over and over and over again, maybe that's when you do
Yeah.
need to seek some counseling. Because why is it that we keep going the same thing over and over and over again, and their solution is going to keep happening over and over and over again? That's when I think that a third party needs to step in and say, listen, you probably need to get this together, because why is this happening over and over again? What part did you play? What part did you play?
I agree. That's when the accountability has to come in. You have to take accountability and really resolve some things, and before you can move on. It's hard to build on a shaky foundation. You know, back in the day, they used to build they used to build houses on like dirt. You can't build a house on dirt anymore. It won't withstand, you know, not the weather inclements and things like we have now. Like it wouldn't work anymore. And so you can't just brush over stuff anymore at once, but it takes both parties taking some accountability, because that's what's necessary to be able to move on and to really, because when I know I'm the type of person, if I don't feel like I have all the answers and I don't really truly understand why you did something and you can't explain to me why you did something and you telling me I don't know, and I can't move on like that.
Yeah.
Like my mind it creates too many stories and it does too many.
What?
I just can't do it.
I'll be waking up in the middle of the night like, remember when you said this, and this? Let me try to connect these dots, because something just ain't right about now. Yeah. What
my husband tells me, he's like, you asked me 135 questions, and then 136 is the first question you asked. Yeah, because I'm trying to see if you're lying. You got the same answer.
Oh, that is so funny. That is so funny. Yeah. All right. You know what? I'm kind of surprised that nobody, well, first of all, everyone's quiet right now. I'm not quite sure what's going on there, but the response was not sex or something crazy along those lines, because a lot of people think that when things are not right and we need to spice some things up, that's the first thing that we will run and go to. But
yeah, that doesn't fix it.
Yeah, when you do that, basically like what you said, building on shaky ground, all you're doing is putting a Band-Aid over something and covering it up. And when that, fire starts to, flicker out, you're going to be right back to where you were, if not worse. So you really have to handle all of that situation and really go back and fix it right the first time. I truly believe in that. Yeah. All right. So now we have a burning question from someone else. So Cynthia says, since COVID, my husband has gained an extra 100 pounds or so. How can I let him know in a loving way that his weight is not only affecting his health, but it is also affecting our sex life, which is putting a strain on our marriage?
Wow. Well, the first thing I probably would do is get him, call me and get him some products to help him lose the weight. Right. And you start taking them. Let him see you take it, and invite him for walks. Sometimes we tell people things so bluntly that it can be offensive.
Yes.
But if a person really sees like you're doing it not just because of the vanity of it, but because of their health, I think the reception is a little different. But I would just have a conversation and say, hey, but I would do it on a walk. Like, let's go for a walk, or do it right after sex. I know it sounds weird, but I really would do it right after sex and say, listen, I just noticed like this, it feels a little different. It's a little,
Oh my God, that's
a little different.
That's so embarrassing. I think that's hurtful.
I know, but research has shown that men are more receptive to hearing criticism right after.
What? I don't believe that. I think if anything, that will piss you off to the 10th power. That can start That'll start all kinds of
That's what the
problems.
research say now. I don't know who researched, but that's what it said.
Mm-mm.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. I know for me, like, I guess maybe because the endorphins are going and people are usually more happy after sex. But if you are not happy after this experience because your husband gained all his weight, like, you gotta tell it. You know, and I mean, you just just try to be as nice as possible, but offer solutions. You know, don't leave them to the solutions, because most times if he gained that much weight, he's noticed that he's gained that much weight. He probably just don't know what to do about it at this point. So come with solutions, you know, not just you know, a bunch of complaints.
I don't know. This one really has me stunned, because that whole ass thing would be a mess. I don't know. You know what I do? I go to Seduction Spot. I order some toys, or I go to Rain Toy Box. I order some toys and be like, all right, well, apparently you can't do what you're supposed to be doing because you done sat there and gained all that extra weight, 100 or so pounds, and I'm gonna just go ahead and handle my business the way I know how to handle it. And when you feel that you're want to come back into this situation and join the right way, I'll be sitting here waiting. But until then, I guess you'll get to hear all of the buzzing and the excitement that's going on.
You would be divorced.
I'm
that
sure
won't work.
I'm sure.
That's so mean.
You sitting here saying to go and tell somebody after you get done doing something that they're whack. That's not right.
Yeah, like, you gotta tell them, like, listen, I noticed, like, if you feel a little heavier on top of me, like, maybe I don't pop next time.
Well, that's what I was about to say. That's what he probably gonna say.
Yeah, but then I would say, like, yeah, it's kind of hard for me to spread my legs. Like, I can't spread that wide. You gotta work on this.
You know, this could go in so many different directions, but I'm not going to do it. Because he has an answer for that too. He has a straight answer for that too. He will say, well, we don't necessarily have to do it that way. There could be something else that could be done. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that he could come up with all those answers, but it'll boil down to the fact, like, listen, I feel like this would be, I mean, I just remember how it used to be when you were, you know, a little smaller, and what can we do to help you get back there? Let's start walking. Let's start, you know, doing some stuff.
Now what
so
happens?
That you can get back there.
But now what happens if you find out that you're in a relationship, in a marriage, whatever, with somebody who clearly don't care? Maybe they like to eat and that's what they want to do, and they want to gain all this weight and they want to do what they want to do.
Oh, well, then, because my health means a lot to me, I would straight up and let them know, listen, how I look, how I feel means a lot to me. It scares me the way that you eat. It scares me that you won't be able to have a long-term relationship with me because you might die prematurely of some early disease because of the way you're eating. And so if you really care about me, we need to get this together. We can do it together. You know, we can work with each other to so that you can get healthier. Or we might need to, like, you might need to be by yourself. For one, I want to look good. I want to feel good, but I also want to look good. And I want my man to look good too. And so for me, that's a non-negotiable. I'm not attracted to men that's that big. And so that's a non-negotiable. And so once you gotta just be straight up. I think too many times we beat around the bush with people.
Absolutely.
And we compromise it. We compromise in areas that we really know we don't want to compromise in. There are a lot of things you can compromise, but you gotta have some non-negotiables.
I had this conversation today, and this is what happens. This is how we get trapped up into these relationships. I like food too, so I understand where you're coming from, but you know, so don't feel bad. But this is how we get wrapped up into these relationships and crazy mess. So you might be sitting there searching, You shouldn't be searching, but let's just say you might. And somebody pops up and comes along. Everyone who comes into your life, that does not necessarily mean that they're supposed to stay. They might be here to teach you something. It might be,
Yep.
they might even be sent to be a distraction,
Yep.
to try to throw you off course. But because you want things on your time, like right here, right now, I have that type of personality sometimes that I'm working on because a lot of times I've gotten myself into some trouble because I want it right here, right now, and I don't want to wait. And then you think about, wow, I've been waiting this long, but this person is here. But I've been waiting this long, but this person is here. Let me just go ahead and, hang out with this person, chill with this person until something better comes along. But because you have consumed your time with that person, time after time after time after time, something better along never comes, never comes because it passed already because you're too busy messing around or playing around with something that you probably shouldn't. And then after a while, you wake up and here we are, 6 months, a year, 2, 3 years in the same situation. And then you'd be like, dang, I was waiting for something better to come along. But something better came along, saw that you were busy, and then just kept on moving.
Wow. Now, I haven't been in a situation per se like that where I was waiting for something better to come along, but I did date someone that I knew from the beginning I was not physically attracted to, but they were such a good person. Like, such a laugh, such a great, in some ways, but was also a negative, like a very pessimistic person. And so because I am who I am.
Let's talk about freaking pessimistic people.
My goodness.
I'm telling you.
But I was thinking I could check. I'm so positive and I have so much life. I can help them.
No, you can't because it didn't work.
It did not work.
Did not work.
They're still very pessimistic
all the time,
and now super, super angry with me because it's like, you didn't never like me from the beginning.
Exactly.
You were just trying to change me, and it's kind of true, and I'm guilty, and I was wrong for that. But I really did think
I'm gonna say something I probably shouldn't be saying. I wasn't trying to change you, but what I was trying to tell you to do is, hell, I'm still new, trying to be real positive, and I got this new vibe going on. And what you can't do is come around me talking some BS, just ridiculous stuff. The world's coming to an end. You're not gonna be here tomorrow. All this old dumb shit. And to come to find out that the shit wasn't even real to begin with. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah. So for me, I think that's what it was. But I feel really bad because I knew I was not physically attracted to this person. And I spent time with this person, but only because I read them. I realized I was even becoming a different person because I was becoming short fused with them.
Yeah.
It's just like, you're too negative. I can't take it. It would just agitate me.
Yeah.
And because I didn't have that physical attraction, it didn't make me want to be any softer.
You want to know what? Thank God you didn't have that physical attraction, because if you did, then you would have really been caught up.
I really would have been caught up. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. But I promise I would never do that again because it's the worst feeling. And I feel like now I have this enemy that I shouldn't have to have.
No, you're gonna have
but
them. No, you're gonna have them.
Fault.
You're going to have them because people will come into your life and they may be here to serve a purpose. They may be here to throw you off track. They may be here to distract you,
Yeah. I think he was here. He was sent to help me through something, through this time that I was in, and I just took it too far. I took it too far.
I got a lot of people popping up and coming around me right now, and I have to be very, very, very careful. I'm not quite sure the last couple people who have been sent here. I don't know what their purpose was, but I'm focused now, and I understand what's going on. That's all I'm
Mhm.
saying. I'm focused and I understand what's going on. Get it?
Yeah. You got to be able to sort out the leaves from the branches
You
from
know
the
what I
roots.
say? I just call it separating the bullshit from the truth.
Yeah, that's true.
But you're right. Leaves, branches. Go ahead. Say it again.
Yeah, you got to separate the leaves from the branches and from the branches from the roots.
Hmm.
There's too many times we have people in our lives that were meant to be leaves who just they change with every season. They fall, they go, and we try to make them into roots, and it just don't work.
Hmm.
You know, and the same for the branches. Like branches seem like they're strong. They seem like they'll stay around, you know, with you. They're definitely more stronger than leaves. But if you put too much weight on the branch, they will eventually break as well.
Hmm.
And we have to do a better job with discerning that. But I think it just takes, you got to know you though. And I think a lot of times people don't spend enough time really getting to know them because we don't spend enough
Mm-hmm.
time alone.
Yes,
People
yes,
are afraid to
yes.
be alone. They're
Say
afraid
it.
to do stuff alone.
Say it.
And they
Since
don't know who they are. Like they can't go
yes,
to dinner by themselves. They can't,
I
like, nothing.
I was basically having the same, internal thought with myself. Like, this is why I didn't get caught up this time around. You could have, but now you're starting to know who you are and you know what you're not going to put up
Mm-hmm.
with. So I'm so thankful. But I had to go back. I had to hit that rewind button. And on a positive note, I talked about playing old records over and over again and getting stuck, but I had to go back in a positive aspect and say, take it back to the first relationship that you were in. And that person that came into your life, what was the lesson behind it? And then I went to the next one. What was the lesson behind it? But what did you do to cause hell and drama and cause issues there? And then I went to the next one and I did the same thing. And I was like, I get it now. So now when
Mm-hmm.
people come, it's not always necessarily a bad thing. It's like, what am I supposed to learn from this person? What am I supposed to learn? And that's what I do right now. So every single time that somebody comes, I sit and I get, real in tune with it. And I just think. And I take my time with things. I'm not rushing doing anything real quick, but people are sent here to teach us. Every single thing that we go through is a lesson. That's what I believe.
Yep.
That's what I believe. So I'm not mad
That
at
I believe the same thing.
I'm not mad at any little situation that I've been through because now I have to take some responsibility and I got to be like, okay, what role did I play? Because, you know, he sent you here for a reason, but what part did I play to cause this situation to break down this way? Or what part did I play to make this situation elevate to the next level? So, yeah.
Mm, that's deep. A lot of people don't take that time though.
I have to. I
But
have
it's good
to.
that you have.
Today I have to because you know what? I'm never going to be any good for anybody else. First of all, I'm not even going to be good for myself if I continue to have all kinds of hell and drama in my life and not know how to handle a relationship properly. Like if you want to leave, deuces for real. Like I feel so
Mm-hmm.
good about that I could say that. But then I have to ask myself, is that really true? Because I know what I envision, who I want to walk into my life, what type of person. So if God sent me that person tomorrow, would you lose your mind? I gotta ask myself that. The perfect person that you want, the perfect mate, if God sent that person tomorrow and it did not work out, would you absolutely lose your mind?
Mm.
Because the last situations that you just went and replayed, you shouldn't have been with them people to begin with. And if you were, you weren't supposed to be with them that long and get so wrapped up and get so messed up over them. But if you finally get what you truly, really want in life and God answers your prayers, right? Would you really be messed up if it didn't last as long as what you thought it should last? Because nothing in life lasts forever. So,
Wow, that's yeah. I haven't thought about it that way. I gotta really
so maybe
ponder that.
I'm like, so maybe I just need to fall back and chill a little bit. Maybe I still need to focus on learning a hell of a lot more so that if something does break down, and I'm not saying that somebody's gonna, walk out of your life. Anything could happen. Like nothing in life lasts forever. So, I mean, you could think of how many crazy things someone can walk away from you or be pulled away from you. We lose love. So it's not necessarily like a bad situation as far as somebody doing anything maliciously. But yeah, you get that perfect mate, you get that perfect thing that you want, and it doesn't have that longevity that you want because life happens. Are you going to lose your mind?
Uh,
So,
I hope not.
so it's like, listen, you need to, but I'm talking about that ultimate. I don't know how many people have that ultimate love. I really don't know. Well, y'all both on the same page. You really don't have any arguments, nothing. It's just total bliss. Like, is that real?
I think it's real, but I think it's just, human nature for us to believe things are too good to be true, because I really think deep down a lot of us feel like we don't deserve what it is we really want. It's hard for us to feel worthy of the type of love and things that we really want.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's easier for our mind to believe our doubts than to, it's easier just for our mind to believe that. And so believe something is too good to be true, then that's what happens. It's too good to be true. And then it's hard for you to grasp it and hold on to it because you don't really believe that it's possible anyway.
Right. You got to believe first, because if you don't believe it, nobody else will.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. And if you don't believe, that's exactly what you're going to manifest.
Mm-hmm. Well, listen, I had such a great time talking to you. This has
So did I.
been amazing.
This is really nice.
Thank you so much for coming on. We got to get out of here, but what I want you to do is just close us up with something, leave us with a little bit, let us know where we can follow you at again, and all of that great stuff.
Sure. So you guys, you can follow me at Dr.Daisha Andrews on Instagram, and that's DASHIAANDREWS. You can find me at DaishaAndrews.com. That's my website. And the one thing I guess I could leave us with, since we on this whole relationship discussion, I think that I really feel like, first of all, you got to get alone, spend some time with yourself, get to know you, get to like you, spend some time really learning who you are and beginning to love and like who you are. That way, the love and the friendship and the things that you do manifest in your life, you will be ready for, you will be prepared to receive, you will understand that you're worthy to receive them, and that you will be able to really just spill out the extra love you have for yourself onto others. Because it's nobody else's job to make you happy
except
for yours.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That is it.
You definitely did the thing.
Everything else is extra.
You know what? You hit so many points as far as what was going on in my mind today. I had to tell myself, remember, you are going to do something for you. Forget it. Period. The end. Stop always trying to include people. Stop trying to make it to be about a whole group situation. Stop, because you've been doing this crap your whole life. Do something for you. Now, if everybody else comes along and join, that's just icing on the cake. But the bottom line is that you went, you conquered, and you did whatever you wanted to do for you first. And that's exactly the mode that I'm on. So you can come if you want to, but trust and believe that if I sit somewhere by myself, that I'm going to be so content, even though you may think that I'm not, because you're not. But the bottom line is that I am, because that's how I operate and that's how I'm built internally. We are two different people. So
that's right. People gotta just take yourself on a trip. Why does it always have to be a girl's trip or a guy's trip or a couple? Take yourself on a trip. Take yourself to the movies. Take yourself to dinner. Learn how to enjoy you.
Listen, if there's anybody that knows any single cruises, any little retreats, anything like that, DM me and let me know.
Well, I can definitely hook you up. That's another one of my business. I'm a travel agent. So if you want to go on some things and stuff, I got you.
Yeah, because going on a singles retreat or something like that is not necessarily a bad thing.
No, not at all.
I'm sure.
And it's not that you are even looking for other singles either.
Oh no, I'll be looking.
A lot of people think it's like you go to look for somebody, but no, that's not what it's for.
Oh no, I'll be going there and looking for other singles. For that moment, I will be. Because this whole coronavirus thing has been a trip. So, yeah.
Yes, it has. Thank God the world is coming out of it. Even though I enjoyed my little solitude time, I wasn't mad about it, honestly. Because I'm a social person. I like people, but I like people when I like people.
No, I wasn't mad about being locked down, especially in the wintertime. I don't want to be around people anyway. So I have always been locking myself down to begin with. But the one thing that I really don't appreciate is the aftermath, the financial strain that a lot of us are dealing with still after the fact. That part, I could do without. But the fact that we had to be with family, we had to be locked down, we had to learn how to reinvent ourselves and get into a different space. Some of us needed to get spiritually grounded, things like that.
Yes, that's very true. Very true. It was much needed time for sure. If you didn't get to know who you were during this whole thing, you're probably never gonna do it.
Rebel Jewel, I'm trying to get my groove back. Then when I get it back, I'm gonna lock that thing up, making sure that it don't ever get stolen again. Oh man,
that's right. I hear you.
That's funny.
That's amazing. Well, thank you so much for having me. This was so much fun. I really, really enjoyed it.
Yes, I did too. Take care, and I definitely would like to have you come and we'll talk.
Sure, anytime.
Okay.
Anytime.
All right. Take care now. Have a great night.
Good night.
Good night.
Thanks, you too.
All right, y'all. So there you go, Dr. Daisha Andrews. So thank you all so much for hanging in there and sticking tonight. I appreciate it. Some of the comments were funny. I couldn't comment on all of them, but if you'd like to go ahead and support the 411 podcast, go ahead and click the link above all of my social media platforms. And inside there is a shop called Black Diamond, and anything that you purchase inside there will help support the 411 podcast and Reading Between the Wines. So tomorrow we have author A.A. Lewis coming in. She is great. We are going to have a great conversation with her tomorrow. And on that note, I'd like to thank my executive producer, my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for allowing me to come out here and give you all the 411 podcast one more time in life. And I just want to leave y'all with this, with things that we go through, life is very hard. It's not easy. Don't ever let anybody tell you that life is easy. And, so many things can happen. Life happens. Something happens on your job. Something happens in your relationship. Something happens to your car. Something happens to your home. Something happens to your finances. It is what it is. But if you want to just all of a sudden say, I don't want to fight anymore. I don't want to fight anymore. I'm done. I can't take it. I can't handle it. I can't do this anymore. The only thing that you need to do is basically wave your white flag. When you wave that white flag, then you know that is it and it's enough and you've done. So for me, I know that he will not give me anything that I can't handle. He will not put that on me. He will not put that burden on me. So if you have a tough time that you're going through right now, please believe and understand that somebody higher than you knows that you can fight and you can push and you can get on through it. So the bottom line is, are you going to fight or are you going to retreat? Are you going to fight this fight or are you going to retreat? So today, Even though I know it's hard and it ain't easy, I'm fighting. But I'm fighting with a different type of fight. I'm fighting with the intelligence that God has blessed me with. So when you fight, what are you fighting with? Are you just going out there swinging and fighting and cussing and attacking and doing things in a reckless way? Or are you using your brain? Are you sitting back and you thinking, okay, listen, this situation is right here in front of my face here, but I'm going to do something different because I've been cussing you out for 10 years right now and nothing changed. So am I going to turn around and fight again in the incorrect way? Or I'm going to start to use this brain a little bit and use what he actually put inside of me to make me, conquer all of this stuff that's going on, all of this BS, all of this nonsense that's going on. Today, my fight is so different, y'all. And I'm so thankful and I'm so proud. And I just have to say thank you to my executive producer for instilling all of this, installing all of this stuff in me. And I don't even know where it comes from, but it just comes from such a great place, a place of just total understanding. But I don't have to cuss at you today. I don't even have to frown my face up anymore. Today, like my girl Mary J. Blige says, today across my face, I have a brand new smile. Yes, I smiled today. I haven't smiled in such a very long time. I've been locked down for a good 10 to 15 years with nothing but a frown on my face. You know what? Let me back that up. A good 20 years with nothing but a frown on my face, always thinking that that's going to intimidate you and make you run away from me or make you even respect me because I would come in with such an attitude across the board right off the rip inside of a room. And just because I was dressed a certain way and just because I looked a certain way, that was supposed to make you feel a certain way about me. It made you feel real good about me, right? But in a different way. Like, yeah, I'm gonna leave him alone. And that's why he's probably sitting there in that corner. And that's probably why he don't have anybody around him. Nobody likes him, you know. Yeah. So I fight differently today. When I saw something on Facebook that sort of made me laugh a little bit. And it was along the lines of, I will not argue with anybody who still cashes their check from a liquor store. And I had to crack up a little bit. It was like I refuse to argue or laugh with someone, or I refuse to argue or fight with someone who still cashes their check at the liquor store. So that person obviously knew that that's not worth their time anymore because you obviously are on a different level. No disrespect to people who are trying to get their life together. There are people who still are in that situation, but as long as you're striving to move and upgrade to something different, I can understand that. But I know the type of mentality of the person that they were talking about. And you all know that ignorant type of person that they're probably talking about. Probably, an alcoholic of some aspect, somebody who's cashing their check just to go ahead and turn it over and go back and do the next thing over and over and over again and stay stuck in quicksand. I get it. So today, when my little thing is, I refuse to argue with anyone today, period. Period. I'm not arguing no more. If I have to argue with you, it is a wrap and we have no dealings with. Because I need somebody to come into my life who's going to sit down and speak to me just like I'm rapping and speaking to y'all right now. Like, talk to me if something's wrong. All of that cussing and all of that arguing and fighting, I've done that for so many years. I've done that all my life. Today, I'm trying to do something different. The man that I am today, we don't do that anymore. But I refuse to argue with anyone, period. But especially a man who can't see past his own ignorance and own insecurities to humble himself to say, you know what? I was wrong. And you know what? I'm not perfect. And because of that, this is what we're going to try to do. So if I can't be with anybody like that, I want nothing to do with it. But I'm going to tell you, I don't argue with anyone today, period. That's it. There's no arguing. There's no nothing going on. And right now, I know it's 11 o'clock, but I got to get on up out of here. Thank you all so much. Take care. Have a beautiful, wonderful night. I will see you tomorrow. Miss author A.A. Lewis, and I can't wait because she is definitely going to come with some fire. The last time she was on Reading Between the Wines, it was amazing. So I can't wait to speak to her. Thank y'all so much for rocking with me tonight. I appreciate you. Dr. Daisha Andrews, thank you for the great conversation. I appreciate you too. Take care. Miss Rebel Jewel, Coral Nails, thank y'all so much for being out there tonight. See you. Good night.
Thanks for supporting the 411 podcast, featuring Special guest, Dr. Daisha Andrews. Please follow, like, comment, share, and subscribe on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube at Laren Gaines. Text Laren at 609-738-0611. Please join us tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, featuring special guest, author A.A. Lewis. Set your reminders. Thank you. Good night.
And I just want to give a special shout out to everybody out there who watches the replays, people who comment, like, share, all of that great stuff. I love all of y'all. Take care. Good night. See y'all.